couldn't be any more fortunate to have multiple cars in all three categories on the lead lap fighting for the lead.
And this is Poland versus Poland, the biggest baker in the Polish nation, leading Le Mans, and the most famous Polish racing driver that gains so much attention in the Polish media, closing him down. Jakub Śmiechowski, the son of the owner of the bakery, the real reason why into Europol are racing here. Kubica!
Big commitment there. That was a bit risky at this stage of the race.
Robo,
He's going to give the position back.
ty wariacie.
Could have turned into tears right there for the two leaders. I'm not sure that was really sensible move there by Robert.
Well, heads up from Kubica though to immediately address that and give the position back to the Inter-Europol competition driver, and it's game on.
That's WRT trying to chimney on Kubica, and this is one of those situations where you expect a change to happen. Kubica, honestly, a Formula 1 victor versus Jakub Śmiechowski, who is the
Śmiechowski, kolego, Śmiechowski.
within that lineup, and the weakest link of the three in that team.
Let's come back not too long ago at how lucky Robert Kubica was not to be cleaned out by Kevin Estre in the Porsche curves.
Yeah, and I think that's a big factor with sports car racing, Lee, because I'm not saying this happened, but for example, Kevin Estre might have come across the 41 car 10, 15 minutes ago with a different driver behind the wheel who did something totally different, maybe didn't have the same entry speed that Robert did, and you see that car and you think there's a rhythm to that, and suddenly this car driver takes in an extra 2 car lengths deeper, and that's what you've got to be on your toes. You need all of the information, who's driving what car, and just trying to gauge all of those situations that could turn the race in a heartbeat.
I think that might have been the case here with
Myślę, ściągnij ten wór.
Robert was happy to carry a lot more speed than Jakub. Jakub being a little bit more careful, and perhaps it was just a case of avoidance for Kubica.
Yeah. Because the message was loud and clear at the time. Kevin Estre was coming through on everybody. He was in qualifying full attack mode. Unfortunately, the Porsche Penske driver was the lead Porsche Penske prototype driver is still in the garage as they address the damage of that floor on the Porsche 936. This lead scrap still goes on in LMP2. There's a bit of breathing room behind them to Renee Binder in the Duquesne team LMP2 prototype. Every car in LMP2 the same, the Orica chassis. It's a fair fight.
Of course, Kubica's only Formula 1 win coming at the Canadian Grand Prix. The Canadian Grand Prix traditionally always used to clash with the Le Mans 24 Hours, which means we're nearly 15 years ago when Kubica took that victory, and also the scene of one of the most spectacular
Yes, as you said, that shot they had come down into the hairpin many moons ago. But, such a great fighter, Robert, who suffered that horrendous injury with his arm many years ago in a rally car, and has kept digging deep, still does some Formula 1 testing on occasion, and certainly recognised as a really strong prototype driver coming off a big win, his first win, I believe, at Spa in the last round of the championship.
And he hasn't recovered, he's not fully recovered there.
Jedzie zębaty!
This is for second in class, and that's a really nice move from Matteo Cairoli in the bright green Rexy, the T-Rex Porsche for Project 1 AO Racing.
T-Rex, they call it.
Takeshi Kimura in
Takeshi
the
Kimura.
Ferrari, so that's not only the lead that has changed, but second as well. And now Kimura, who's got to be close to the end of this respective stint, he's
I'm
got to be
going.
looking at his mirrors as well, because Nicky